Uh, here. Okay. And oh, yeah. Nice. So there's a game I've been looking at. I think it's point and click called The Excavation of Hobbs Barrow. It's more pixelated art style, but I think it's basically digging up a haunted barrow, if I remember right. Do that and this also. Oh, wow. 11. Okay, so we got still some time. Tower of Time is down to $2. Dang, nice. All right. So, if anybody's interested in getting Tower of Time from GOG right now, it's only $2. It's normally 25. So, it's a good deal. Okay. No, actually, it's this, isn't it? I gotta check. Yeah. All right. Uh-huh. Okay. When you got a really good deal, you got to jump on a really good deal. I got games that normally cost $40 for only 10. What? Did not go through, huh? Interesting. I just confirmed that. Try this one more time. If it doesn't go through now, I'm not going to worry about it right now. I'll just keep it in my cart and buy it later. There we go. It went through finally. Very nice. Okay. Not going to do it right now, but obviously we're already got something we're playing. We got several things we'll play, right? This, and then once we finish this, one of the things from Halloween. So that'll be at some point down the road. I can't think of. You give it a couple minutes just in case somebody jumps on. Or in case somebody is delayed jumping on, I guess. Uh, Go ahead and start now. I think we're good. And this one. Okay. I don't know if I have anything to ask people or not. Since I'm right here, let's
I
go ahead
need
and
your
ask.
assistance to clarify certain points. Simbi Laktar. Does this name mean anything to you? I'd like to know if you saw him these last few days.
In fact, I hardly knew him. Simbi Laktar was a housekeeper for Mr. Jones. He was fired with all the other staff 15 days ago. I don't think that he would have come back on the island. He would have been spotted. But I noticed the disappearance of his access card yesterday evening when I wanted to destroy all the cards. His was missing. Do you want me to see what Simbi Laktar did after that?
Gladly.
Look, it's odd. Simbi Laktar didn't move from the technical room after the evening of the murder. Here, you see, Inspector?
Thank you very much, Lorenzo.
That would tie into finding the card left in the shredder. So,
Just one question. I won't be here for long. Don't you find it a bit strange that the housekeeper, Simbi Laktar, could have been closed up in the technical room for 3 days without anyone noticing?
Of course, Inspector. It makes no sense at all.
This document seems to incriminate Noland. I'm wondering if you know something that is liable to contradict it?
Mr. Jones was not about to confide in me on this matter, my dear Norm. But I came across Noland when he came out of the boss's office the afternoon of his death, and you should have seen his face. I'd never seen him in such a state. What you tell me doesn't surprise me. I can tell you that Noland is a real SOB. That he embezzled money from the pension funds of Jones's cement factory doesn't surprise me in the least.
Very interesting, really.
The interview can start, Inspector.
Don't you find it a bit strange that the housekeeper, Simbi Laktar, could have been closed up in the technical room for 3 days without anyone noticing?
It's incongruous, I'll give you that, Inspector. But I'm afraid we have to be prepared for anything on this damned island.
Simbi Laktar. Does this name mean anything to you? I'd like to know if you saw him these last few days.
I don't know this man, Inspector. I made absolutely no connections on this island. It's pretty simple. I didn't meet anyone. Except, of course, the members of the family and Colio and Baina, the two natives.
Thank you.
yeah, just wanted to make sure we'd ask them questions. I don't think, though, that that's going to matter. Like I said, we already have the card from the shredder left over. We already have verification from the computer monitor. Not monitor like screen, but monitor as in monitoring via computer, that the card never moved. And we know that the card was temporarily lent out to Marco. So that's not a good sign for him. Okay, what is Simbi Laktar still doing on the island? Yeah, so this, there, I think. And then we have, somewhere we have, prints on the key. No, I want Marco's prints there. That. Now let me see. If I... That is for sure the next one we're doing. Yep. Okay. Trying to make sure we don't miss. Right, because that's all as we go along. We've got all of these solved now. So you have this one and then 2 more. We're done. Okay. Declaration. He was sleeping with Christina on the night of the murder. No, not Mark. I want Marco. My bad. Marco. Lorenzo must have made him touch the keycard without him noticing. Sure. Don't think that's right, though. Let me think. What is he still doing on the island is the question. So the prints matching Marco. Marco's declaration that he must have touched it. No movement from the technical room where we found it. And... who was it Lorenzo trying to shred? Yeah, I think so. I don't know. It's this. Maybe that he thinks he misplaced it, or maybe another declaration, but let's see.
The clues do not match.
Yeah, okay. So not quite. Let's get rid of that. Interpretation of the library lock. This is the one, though, right? Movements of him. He never moved at all. Not take... Actually, this elevator might work. That's fine. Go down. 20, 19, 18. And I'll go across here. Yeah, so the fact that the computer verifies that the card never moved location matches that we found it in the shredder. The print of Marco being on there is obviously.
Mr. Lactar? Mr. Lactar? Mr. Lactar?
I mean, obviously, we're not going to find him in here. He's not in here. We found. Whoops. I don't know. This way? Is that how we continue? Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I see this. I don't think we have anything to extricate that either. So, Atif Dambo's key card. Yeah, we're not going to compare them or something, so. Not really sure why the game lets you come back to this after you've already discovered it, rather than saying if you've already got it, then proceed forward, but that's fine. So we need something. It doesn't seem like there were any cameras. Otherwise, presumably, we would have asked for the footage. Okay.
The clues do not match.
9 p.m. to midnight. Simulactar. I could do, instead of this, do this.
The clues do not match.
And of course, I probably want to change his declaration.
The
No.
clues do not match.
Okay, so we're close, but not quite there. We've got all the stuff we need, apparently, because this is full. I need to probably have a... No,
The
I didn't.
clues do not match.
Okay, I was thinking get out of that, not try to reevaluate. I think I just need to talk to Marco, and then whatever he says, maybe in response might be the thing. Okay, so
Strange. It's not working anymore.
all right, that's the elevator. Yeah. My bad. Up to 18. Can't remember. I think he might be out here, but I don't remember for sure. Yeah, here we go.
I am entirely at your disposition, Inspector.
Don't you find it a bit strange that the housekeeper, Simbi Laktar, could have been closed up in the technical room for 3 days without anyone noticing?
Strange? No. I am ready to bet that an individual who is a bit resourceful can hide for entire months in this tower without anyone noticing his presence.
Simbi Laktar. Does this name mean anything to you? I'd like to know if you saw him these last few days.
No, I don't have the honor of knowing this man. Sorry, Inspector.
This document seems to incriminate Noland. I'm wondering if you know something that is liable to contradict it?
Grandfather mentioned his doubts about his attorney in passing, but I ascribed it to his naturally cautious temperament, which was almost suspicious. I could never have imagined that Noland could have fallen to this. I'm surprised that he got away with it.
Okay.
This transfer of shares fully reimburses Walter Jones for the embezzlement of funds by Hubert de Noland, doesn't it?
It seems obvious to me, Inspector, that this transfer confirms that Grandfather had found a way to have Hubert de Noland pay for his swindling.
Very interesting, really.
So nothing more. Interesting. But not in a good way. Because that makes me wonder if I have to talk to every single person around. This just goes to the elevators. Nobody's over there. So I can just, yeah, go this way instead. It's weird with the angle. Weird that you couldn't talk to them on the other screen, but it's fine, I guess.
Ask mere questions, Inspector. I love crime thrillers, you know?
Don't you find it a bit strange that the housekeeper, Simbi Laktar, could have been closed up in the technical room for 3 days without anyone noticing?
Yeah, you're right. It's very bizarre. What do you want me to say?
Simbi Laktar. Does this name mean anything to you? I'd like to know if you saw him these last few days.
Simbad Lack what? No, Inspector. Really, it means nothing to me.
This document seems to incriminate Noland. I'm wondering if you know something that is liable to contradict it?
I never liked this Nolan fellow, but now it's for a good reason. It seems pretty damning, Inspector.
This transfer of shares fully reimburses Walter Jones for the embezzlement of funds by Hubert de Noland, doesn't it?
Wow, Norm. If you ask me, with this, Mr. Hubert de Noland seems pretty much in hot water.
Yes. I just have some questions to ask you. This document seems to incriminate Noland. I'm wondering if you know something that is liable to contradict it?
I don't know anything about this business, and I wonder if it's not yet another of my grandfather's dirty tricks. You know, Mr. Norm, he was really of a sort. He loved destroying people. Maybe he wanted to destroy Noland for pleasure. Maybe Noland knew too many things that could have compromised him, and my grandfather wanted to get rid of his attorney.
This transfer of shares fully reimburses Walter Jones for the embezzlement of funds by Hubert de Noland, doesn't it?
He succeeded in beating Hubert de Noland at his own game. That's all. My grandfather was very smart, you have to admit.
Simbi Laktar. Does this name mean anything to you? I'd like to know if you saw him these last few days.
No, I don't know this individual, Mr. Norm.
Don't you find it a bit strange that the housekeeper, Simbi Laktar, could have been closed up in the technical room for 3 days without anyone noticing?
Mr. Norm, I don't know this man, but it seems impossible that...
Surely.
Possible that, and then it just gets cut off, huh? Okay. It's fine, I suppose.
What is it? What do you want, Jack Norm?
Simbi Laktar. Does this name mean anything to you? I'd like to know if you saw him these last few days.
Simbi Laktar is a good fisherman and a brave man, Jack Norm. Simbi Laktar worked for Old Jones. I have not seen Simbi Laktar since Old Jones fired all the Maledivians.
Don't you find it a bit strange that the housekeeper, Simbi Laktar, could have been closed up in the technical room for 3 days without anyone noticing?
Simbi Laktar cannot hide in Old Jones's tower. A bad man hides. Simbi Laktar is a good man, Jack Norm.
Surely.
So he's saying Simbi is a good man, which tracks because, like I said, if we are assuming, based on the fingerprint, that Marco had the card and not Simbi, I mean, at least at some point recently, then Marco probably is more likely to have put that in the technical
Excuse
room.
me, just one question. It won't be too long. Don't you find it a bit strange that the housekeeper, Simbi Laktar, could have been closed up in the technical room for 3 days without anyone noticing?
Is that a yes? I don't know how to interpret that. I think so. So the other side, I think, is what I want. Over here.
Well, Inspector.
Simbi Laktar. Does this name mean anything to you? I'd like to know if you saw him these last few days.
I don't know who that is, Inspector.
Don't you find it a bit strange that the housekeeper, Simbi Laktar, could have been closed up in the technical room for 3 days without anyone noticing?
Well, maybe it's a ghost. Huh? That's all that's missing here. What can one say, Inspector?
Allow me to doubt that.
But it's just a ghost, yeah. Why would it just randomly just be a ghost? Doesn't make a lot of sense.
I need your assistance to clarify certain points. Simbi Laktar. Does this name mean anything to you? I'd like to know if you saw him these last few days.
No, but I possibly don't know all the inhabitants of the island.
Don't you find it a bit strange that the housekeeper, Simbi Laktar, could have been closed up in the technical room for 3 days without anyone noticing?
It's true, Inspector Jack. It's very disturbing indeed.
Surely.
Who do we not yet have? We've talked with Lorenzo, Martin, Marco, Colio, Baina, Christina, Clara, Sonia, and Billy. I think that's it, right? Let me. Nolan's dead. Marco we talked to. Baina, Lorenzo, Clara, Christina, Colio, Sonia, Martin, Billy, and then of course Walter Jones is also dead. Yeah. Okay, so we've talked to everyone. So now the question is, what do I have, or what am I missing to be able to get a conviction? Or not a conviction, but to get this bit of the puzzle to move forward. Let me think. I've tried both the printout for the consultation library, or basically printout of the stuff going on in the library. I think this makes more sense. Let me see. No, not that. We got his top latest 2 statements, so that's what we got there. All right, just did that. Just did that. Okay, this. She was sleeping with Martin at the time of the murder. Yeah, nothing new. Not from Julio either. So if we say I have to turn this back on. My furnace has decided to go extra hot today. It's going to start putting me to sleep if I'm not careful. Because if we say if I do excuse me. I don't think this will work, but let's.
The clues do not match.
Yeah. Yeah, because that doesn't tie directly to Simbi Laktar. That's what I figured, but thought I should. Yeah, keep going back. So let's. Could just be these 2, I suppose. I don't think so, but maybe. Well, it was. Yep, just those 2 statements. Okay. So we didn't need Marco, just
What
that.
was Simbi Laktar doing on the island? Marco used Simbi Laktar's card on the evening of the murder.
I know that Marco Jones used the card of Simbi Laktar the evening of the murder.
Okay, Jack, but you can stop looking for your Simbi Laktar in the woodwork. I've got some news on him. He was hired by the airport maintenance service in Salé 10 days ago. So he's got nothing to do with the murder of the billionaire. Check the tracks of Marco Jones and keep me posted. In fact, Jack, be tactful with Marco Jones. He's an influential man. And this is no time to commit a blunder.
Okay, so I will. I know it just did an automatic save. Let me save here, though. Okay. Zoom. Okay, so my next, this here is, was Hubert de Nolan's death really that type? So this is what Lorenzo said. We have don't have any comments about Lorenzo for these two. This one has that. Nothing here about Loren or about Denolent. Lorenzo. Jones was wearing his chain. Okay. Safe and Denolent. Participated in the safari. Converts the information about the chain. Okay. And finally, about the marriage and hidden chapel in the tower. Walter Jones covering his tracks by offering Coolio gifts. Yeah, so I think the only declaration really that we have here is this, that he's not the type. So let's do that. Um, this is the confession of that. Would have left traces of powder on the skin. There's no powder on the skin. And pistol without prints. Maybe not this. Hang on, let me think. Oh, I don't have enough. It's saying I probably need one more. Interesting. Okay.
Excuse me, just one question. It won't be too long. Excuse me, I'm distracted. I have what I need. See you later.
Okay, we might only need to talk to Marco. I'm not sure.
I rather like being interviewed. Go on, sir. An autograph, too?
Excuse me, I am distracted. I have what I need. See you later.
So nothing over there. I don't think any of
ask
them.
you some questions. Excuse me, I am distracted. I have what I need. See you later.
I was gonna say I don't think either of these will be. I'll be able to ask either of these really a question.
Very
but
well.
try
I'm waiting
anyway.
for your questions, Mr. Investigator.
Excuse me, I am distracted. I have what I need. See you later.
Yeah, I think I just need to go talk to Marco. So that's gonna be up. Oh, I mean, I'm here. Let me just do Coolio and Baina again really fast, but I'm sure they'll have nothing. Just like Billy and Sonia and Clara and Christina, none of them knew anything either.
I'm hoping to ask you some questions. Excuse me, I am distracted. I have what I need. See you later. I just have some questions to ask you. Excuse me, I am distracted.
Yeah.
I have what I need. See you later.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we need to go to Marco. Yeah. Let's see, hang on. Is it this way? No. He's at the garden. He's not out of here. He's at the garden, not the helipad. That's right. Or heliport. Whatever. This way. Yeah. So we've done all this other stuff. Just overwrite that.
A question is buzzing in my head. Excuse me, I am distracted. I have what I need. See you later.
So I need a document and a picture. Is that right? Hmm. Key card. Figure out what. Hmm. Don't have any of these material clues that we're using for this one, so I need no digital print. Association. Walter to Noland. So that was what I want, I think, for the picture. Hmm. That's okay. Picture of the gun, maybe. Believes he misplaced the key card. Do we have? I thought there was. Where can the other section of this be found? I wonder if. I would think that's in the shredder, wouldn't it be? But we've already been to the shredder. I didn't see anything else. Maybe I can try on the top part of it, and I wasn't seeing where you interact to do that, maybe? I don't know. Not sure. Do this, we get this angle. But I can't use my camera on the strips to try to fill out a bigger picture. Already done that. The graphite to get the print in the first place. So the rest is not in the shredder, I don't think. Okay, where else would they put it? Could be in like a safe in one of the rooms, I guess, maybe. Probably not, though. More out of ability to actually get in there, if that's the case. Because as a player, we had the blowtorch for the Nolan safe, but we use that up. So we don't have that anymore. I don't know what we're gonna do to. That's floor I was on, or our character was on. Is this to Nolan's floor? I never remember. To Nolan's either 15 or 14. I don't remember which. Clara and Billy. Nolan. So it could be either in Nolan's suite or possibly in Marco's suite, trying to hide the extra paper. Boop, boop, boo. Nothing out here that I can see. Okay. Already been in there. I don't think there's anything to interact with even on this, right? Yeah, it's not looking like it. Okay. So, yeah. So the places I'm thinking, I didn't think this was very likely, but I figured while I was here, the places I'm thinking are either Marco's room, possibly, or the library where Denolant is. Even though I've already checked that. I don't know. So I think, if I remember, I think this side here is Denola, or is Marco and Christina's. And the other one across is Sonia and Martin's. Yeah, this is Christina and Marco's, so that's for sure right. I guess just the luggage is the only thing I could think of to search in here. I don't know what else it might be. Can't even try that safe, so. Oh, but there's no luggage here anymore. It was all packed up because of the storm. Okay. We haven't talked since we have the new clue. We've not talked to Lorenzo or Martin, really. So technically, we might be able to get something from them, depending. Not talked to Marco yet. Let's go straight for the elevators this way. This one does work, so it's just the bottom elevator that does not. Actually, hang on. #21. Let's go look at the library again. Oh, 20 is it's Walter's suite. My bad. 21. Whatever. We'll go up one. As soon as I got off, I was like, wait, I don't want 20. I want 21. Okay. Hmm. Got that already now. We've already done that. This. Hmm. Okay. See, because when I went to the paper shredder, I couldn't interact with anything. So where am I going to find this missing shred of paper? Or not shred, really. It's probably like 2/3, 3/4 of the page if it's a standard sized page. I don't see any trash cans around here. We've already been this angle, looking more close up, so I don't know if we're really going to get... No. And they might not have anything upstairs either, but let's try Martin and Lorenzo again, see if they have anything for us at all. Conversation. But really what I would or what I almost certainly need is physical, like an image of or not, well, not an image, but a page of what's left that was torn off. Or I guess an image also, actually. An image of that. Like somebody took a picture of it or something would work, potentially. I don't think there's anything in here. Yeah, no, okay.
I just have some questions to ask you. Excuse me, I am distracted. I have what I need. See you later. I would like to ask you 2 or 3 questions. Excuse me, I am distracted.
Okay,
I have what
so
I need. See you later.
So we're not talking to anybody. Where am I going to find that other document? I don't know. Hmm. So the picture showing the shot. Probably not this. I think that's unhelpful, actually.
The The clues do not match.
Compare that with
Incorrect match.
yeah.
Incorrect match.
Won't be by Ina, I don't think. That doesn't make sense. Yeah, okay.
Incorrect.
It's not by Ina or Colio. I don't think it'll be either of them. Martin?
Incorrect match. Incorrect match.
There might not be any fingerprints on this also at all, right? By the way, just...
Incorrect match. Incorrect match.
Sorry. Drifted off for a moment there. I was trying to think about
Incorrect match.
whether we'd actually find fingerprints on this or not, and then my mind just kind of wandered, and then I kind of spaced it. Sorry.
Incorrect match.
This. Yeah, so nobody's fingerprints are on here. We don't have documents either to try to compare handwriting samples or something. So stain with an orange and sticky material. Hmm. The sticky substance is the thing I don't get. Orange and sticky material. What? Hmm. Okay, I'm stumped. Hang on. This one got me. This one got me. I'm not sure what I'm doing with this. Hang on. Okay. from. Oh. I wonder if I use something like the screwdriver or something on the shredder when I'm close up. Maybe I can, at that point, maybe I can kind of dig in the paper, try to get some of that out. Maybe. This way goes to 17. Okay, let's look at this again. See, I can't even get a thing to interact with this, so the question ends up being... See, I don't think I can get into any of this stuff. There's not like a garbage can or something? Hang on. You'd think there'd be, or an incinerator, but you'd think there'd be somewhere to shove the paper. Trying to get rid of it. And I would think something like an incinerator at least would be more likely to be in the workshop. So I don't know. If not that, it could have been a trash can, but I don't know what trash can.
Strange.
Oh,
It's not working anymore.
Yeah, I meant this one. Go back down to Denolant's room. See if maybe he left something in his trash. Maybe. Of course, I did the wrong side. It's the left side, not the right. Okay, but I'm looking for trash cans. The only, or a paper lying around, of course. The only trash can I know of is in the bathroom, and I previously examined that, I'm pretty sure. I know I did several rubbish bins, as you might say, in Europe, and I did not find anything except for in one of them, which I already acquired, the thing that was in it. See, this looks like a trash can, but you can't interact. Yeah. If I go to the trash can, I'm sure there's nothing there too, right? Can't even interact with it yet. Nothing over at the bedside drawer, right? Yeah. Okay, so where is the rest of that page that was, or maybe a new page, something doesn't match. So I was thinking if we get that scrap and we can compare handwriting maybe to another page, but our compare menu doesn't want to let me do that, so I'm not sure. I've already been in there, but I don't know that I checked the trash can there either. The Marco and Christina suite, there could be a piece of the paper stuffed in there instead. Especially since this is like just about, maybe not exactly, but just about the lowest floor we can be on now because of the damage to the hotel. No, nothing there. Yeah. See, I've already checked this drawer. Know that one for sure. They have suitcases, things like that, sitting next to them, where they're actually sitting up at the kind of the upper lounge area or whatever it's called. I don't think there's anything else in this entire suite at this point. Hmm. Oh, whoops. One.
Strange.
No, stop.
It's not working
Yeah,
anymore.
yeah. I know. That's fine. 18 is what I want, not 17. Actually, probably faster do it this way. You don't have the slow walk of climbing the stairs like he has elsewhere. Not as extensively, because you got to go through 2 flights of stairs the other way as well. Let's see. Christina's over here. Marco has his luggage. It might still be over here. Yeah, see, there are some bags here. So.
Dr. Terry? It's Clara Jones. Do you have news of my father? He's not in intensive care anymore? What good news! I'm really happy. A salad with ham. Thank you very much, Doctor. Bye, Doctor.
Aw. I don't think that has anything to do with anything. I'm not going to click on her because I don't think that we'll get any kind of conversation, anything with that. These bits of luggage are nothing. That's Sonia's and Martin's, I think. Aha.
Would you permit me to take a look at your bags?
It's very embarrassing.
If you prevent it, then I will be obliged to consider it as an obstruction of justice.
Then do what you want, Inspector.
She's not a fan. I can't say I blame her. there. Okay, we gained. File revealing that Marco is the son of Walter and Isabella Jones. All the details of this illegitimate relationship are in the document. Interesting. So, Marco Jones, Mr. Hubert de Nolent. I, the undersigned Marco Jones, holding rights to the inheritance of Walter Jones, presently hand over, free of charge to Mr. Hubert de Nolent, business attorney, 10% of my part of the inheritance. Segura, June 8th, 2006, without without prejudice, Marco Jones, M. Jones. Yeah, see, we'll have the handwriting sample here, maybe compare. Might be able to. Let's see. My dear Marco, this is July 11th. So this is... I didn't see what date this says. But anyway, so July, this might be the same day then, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, Houston, July 11th, 2001. My dear Marco, I have a deep and dark secret to reveal to you. I've never spoken about it to anyone outside of Mr. Hubert de Nolent, in whom I am totally confident. I gave him this letter with a command to pass it to you once he deems you mature enough to understand it. Edward, he who raised you and who you have always considered as your father, is not your father. In truth, you are the son of Walter Jones, your grandfather. He's the son. Interesting. This terrible man once profited from the absence of Edward, his own son, to take advantage of me inside his Houston residence, where we were vacationing. Anna Jones, his wife, surprised us. Please know that it was not chronic pneumonia that killed this poor woman 2 years later, but the wound of that very day. You are the child of this unnatural union. Interesting. So Walter Jones slept with... So Walter Jones's son was Edward. Walter Jones slept with Edward's wife, so with his own daughter-in-law, Isabella. And so Marco is the result of that encounter, that affair. Okay, so this terrible man once profited from the absence of Edward, his own son, to take advantage of me inside his Houston residence where we were vacationing. Anna Jones's wife surprised us. Yeah, and that was what killed her 2 years later, but the wound of that very day. You are the child of this unnatural union. The education that I received obliged me to keep you alive, even if I sometimes cursed you. I hope that you will understand me. I fear the chaos and dishonor that would have tarnished our family's reputations. I let you believe, as I let Edward believe, that you are his son. My health has become fragile, and I am not sure if I will live for much longer. However that may be, I hope that you will come to understand me one day, and perhaps forgive me. Tenderly, your mother, Isabella. Jeez. My dear Isabella, I never had the courage to speak to you about this in person. This is from Halifax, May 2nd. So, like 9 months later, 10 months later. Please know that despite of all of your efforts to make me believe that Marco is my son, I was never fooled. I left you ignorant of what happened to me following the accident. Okay, hang on. Despite all your efforts to make me believe that Marco is my son, this is Walter talking. I was never fooled. I left you ignorant of what happened to me following the accident that took place during my visit to the restoration site of the Vitebsk nuclear power plant in Russia in October 1973. That day I was, moderately I will admit, irradiated in any case, enough to be declared irremediably, hey Monmouth, welcome, sterile by two specialists who examined me. Okay, so we're getting close to the end. I don't know if you've played this yourself before or not. I don't know if I've asked you. But we're basically getting near the end here. So Marco Jones turned over 10% of his inheritance to de Nolan not too long before he died. Okay, so not too long before de Nolan died. Remember, we found de Nolan over his desk, murdered. Okay, so not too long before that, Marco turned over 10% of his inheritance. Okay. In this letter, basically, Isabella is Marco's mother. Okay. So basically you have Walter Jones, the one who was originally murdered. Okay. He had a son named Edward. Edward was married to Isabella. Okay. So you have Edward, son, Isabella, daughter-in-law. Isabella wrote to Marco, her son. Okay. So I guess it's Walter, Edward, and Isabella, and then Marco is their child. Okay. So Isabella writes to her son, to Marco, the grandson of Walter, saying that while Edward was away, Walter took advantage of her, and they were indelecte flagrante. They were basically he seduced her, basically, and they were intimate. I these days don't know what I can say on different platforms. We'll say it that way. Anyway, so she's saying in this letter here, she's saying that Marco is not Edward's son, like Marco believed all these years, but that Marco is actually Walter's son. So technically, Edward and Edward and Marco. Yeah, seduced. Yep. So Edward and Marco are technically brothers. Because Edward is Walter's son, married to Isabella. And then Isabella was seduced, or whatever you want to say, put upon, maybe forced, anyway, by Walter. And so had another child. So Isabella had a son by Walter. So even though Edward was by Walter through Walter's wife, Isabella was also impregnated by Walter. And so Marco was also Walter's son. So Edward and Marco were actually brothers, not father-son. That's what this letter is claiming. And then Anna Jones, Walter's actual wife, surprised them, like walked in on them. Is what Isabella's claiming here. Here, this is Edward, her husband. Okay. I'll just start this over because I was only a little bit through this anyway. My dear Isabella, I never had the courage to speak to you about this in person. Please know that despite all of your efforts to make me believe that Marco is my son, I was never fooled. I left you ignorant of what happened to me following the accident that took place during my visit to the restoration site of the Vitebsk nuclear power plant in Russia in October 1973. That day, I was, moderately, I will admit, irradiated. In any case, enough to be declared irremediably, I think it's irredeemably probably, but anyway, irremediably sterile by two specialists who examined me. I am here in Halifax, so Virginia in the United States, to finish an investigative mission that my father launched against Hubert de Nolan. I have learned many embarrassing things regarding this funny attorney's account. Finding himself compromised, he tried to buy my silence in exchange for a terrible revelation of the relationship between you and my father. Marco is not my son, but his. I also learned under what circumstances my father took advantage of you. I never learned to love Walter Jones, but today I loathe him for what he has done to us. Know that I do not hold this against you, because now I understand the reason for your distance, and this depression that he haunted you for so long. Regarding these details, I acted like a blind idiot, not wanting to see anything. I love you, despite our sadness. Edward. Yeah, so his dad was a real piece of work. This rich guy thought he could have everything. Yeah, a real piece of work. And then Edward Jones affair, the suicide, can't say that on some platforms. Edward Jones affair. This thing was a crime. The hypothesis of the death of Edward Jones, the son of the billionaire Walter Jones, kept as a possibility by investigators, seems to be ruled out today. The examination of the aircraft debris by police experts has permitted to establish that the radio and gas reservoir's filter had been sabotaged. So, in other words, Walter had somebody, his own son. The loss of kerosene caused the plane crash on May 3rd, 2002. So that's only it's roughly the same time that Isabella wrote the letter to Marco. Anyway, so the loss of kerosene caused the plane to crash on May 3rd, 2002, 89 kilometers from the Yarmouth airport, where he took off from at 1:40 p.m., heading for Lynn, an airport near Boston. No radio distress signal had been registered in the Gulf of Maine on that afternoon. The police is still searching for the man who had been seen around 5 a.m. by the Yarmouth airport's attendant as he left the hangar where the plane was parked. Walter Jones, the victim's father, was released this morning after a very long interrogation. The police are searching for the connection between the saboteur and the person who would have orchestrated the event. So they never found evidence from Walter Jones, but I'm pretty sure. Well, I don't think Walter Jones tampered with it himself. He was rich. He probably had somebody. He probably knew somebody, paid somebody who knew somebody who knew somebody who knew somebody, kind of a thing. So that there would be no ties back to him. Anyway. So that's messed up. And then this is an alter diagram, which we had from down below. So now, can I can't do a comparison of those. Let's see. So this,
The clues do not match.
not enough. Okay. So this is a gun with no fingerprints. That shows that this was not this kind of a death. Is this the right picture, though? I don't know. Lorenzo claims Nolan is not that type of person. This has put pressure on Denolent. Frankly, I'm surprised. Well, I guess except we're trying to show that Denolent's not this. That Denolent's death was not this kind, though. So. What I was hoping, but we're not getting, was I was hoping if I go here, so this is Marco's signature. If I could take a picture of this, then I could run a comparison of this with the handwriting. Oh, that would not match, though, probably. Probably it would, actually, if this were real. But since it's a game, they use this cursive font to pretend like it's handwriting. And so the note that was written. But see, if you would actually compare the handwriting of the note that supposedly was from de Nolan with this signature by Marco Jones, well, you actually compare this as well. But anyway, you compare the writing. I can, at this point, I'm pretty sure they're going to be the same. See, and then they just use different fonts to make it look like different people writing. But I cannot take a picture of that. So I can't do a comparison. Because the only things I can compare are things like fingerprints, footprints, stuff like that. And then physical objects. Billy, Clara. I don't think we're gonna I'm just gonna try all these people and see if any of these have fingerprints matching here. I don't think so, but let's see.
Incorrect match.
Yeah. I've already done it on the little scrap of paper, the handwriting thing here, so I know that does not have a match.
Incorrect match.
Okay. Christina.
Incorrect match.
I would expect we'd get Marco's fingerprints, right? But I figured I would go ahead and do everybody just in case. I might be surprised.
Incorrect match.
And it might not have Marco's fingerprints on it too, right? Obviously, I don't know.
Incorrect
Yeah.
match.
No. Hubert and Nolans.
Incorrect
It
match.
should also not be Baina's. Baina. I don't think Baina's done anything. Yeah.
Incorrect match.
Okay, so there are no fingerprints on here. How? I can't compare. So we don't have any material evidence for this particular puzzle piece. So can't use anything up here. So I've got the picture here, which shows no fingerprints of any kind. So that's obviously odd. This is de Nolan's face up close. You'd have powder on the skin if it was done through himself. And there isn't any. So it obviously was somebody else farther away. What am I missing? Okay, hang on. We're not done with all of the possible suitcases either. Oh, maybe we are. Maybe that's both of them.
Just one question. I won't be here for long. This sordid letter from Isabella to her son Marco gives him a solid motive to kill Walter Jones.
It's the worst story I've ever heard, Jack. Marco never told me anything. Maybe he wanted to protect me. In any case, Jones got the punishment he deserved. But I know my Marco well. You mustn't charge him. You are mistaking your prey, Jack.
Yeah, why not? I will dig into this.
Okay, so I guess it's just with those clues. Now we talk to people, and then maybe we get more details that. But it's not really going to give us any additional evidence. So I don't know.
Just one question. It won't be too long. This sordid letter from Isabella to her son Marco gives him a solid motive to kill Walter Jones.
I'm not really surprised to know of this horror. I understand better why Marco was the only one who interested the old man Jones. His son, born from the rape of his own daughter-in-law. What a monster. But in my view, Marco is a weakling, Inspector. I don't think he has the guts to avenge his mother. In fact, I'm trying to say that from my point of view, he doesn't exactly come across as one out to uphold the law, Inspector.
I understand.
Yeah, back when that word was okay to say, but now everybody's so sensitive. You can't even say that somebody took advantage of somebody else and did horrible things to them. It's always been horrible, but the fact that you can't even say it, it's a bit much.
I'd like to chat with you for a moment. What can you tell me about your father and the conditions under which he died? And also, I'd love to know more about the relationship he had with your grandfather.
Sonia, Marco, and I, all three of us, think that it's our grandfather who killed our father. He really made my father suffer to death. My father was a good guy, but after Mom's death, he carried on as he could. He started drinking, but really drinking a lot, and so my grandfather didn't want to hear about him anymore. But then my father slowly started making it back. He restarted his music class, and he started caring for the three of us. He continued to drink a little, but he pulled himself together. You know what I mean, man?
This sordid letter from Isabella to her son Marco gives him a solid motive to kill Walter Jones.
But I don't understand. Why did Marco hide this from us? This is really monstrous. Plus, it concerns all three of us. Marco, Sonia, and me. And well, Walter Jones, my bastard of a grandfather, got what he deserved. He murdered my parents. Do you realize?
It is fair.
In the absence of a will, this letter from Edward Jones to his wife Isabella makes Marco the principal heir of the Jones empire.
Marco betrayed me. He betrayed all of us, in fact. But the death of my jerk of a grandfather puts us on a level playing field. Sonia and I are in a good position to walk off with a part of the estate, don't you think? It's nuts. Money. Always money. It really does make the world go round. And it totally rotted our family.
Why did Walter Jones keep this compromising press cutting?
Seeing what we know of my grandfather, nothing is surprising anymore, is it? He could very well have given the order to have my father killed.
Surely. I need you to enlighten me on a point. You told me that you destroyed this document, Sonia.
I lied to you, Inspector Norm. I felt that Marco was totally lost. I am his older sister, and no doubt I wanted to protect him. The truth is that I walked into my brother's room without even knocking at the door. Marco and Christina were sleeping. I told them about Jones's death, and this little slut Christina behaved as if nothing had happened. I had, however, smelled her perfume in my room. I knew that she had been dispatched previously by my husband, and this slut challenged me with a smile. I could have strangled her, but I had more important things to do. I took Marco aside and I made him a drawing of the place. I showed him the rings and the wedding announcement of Jones and Baina Jumhu. I told him I thought we were going to lose the estate since Walter Jones had not left any disposition in our favor in his safe. I gave him this diagram, thinking he could bring back the marriage act since he knows the tower better than me. I had good intuition, because it was not till later that I translated the inscription engraved on the tortoise that contained the wedding rings, Inspector Norm. The meaning of this inscription that would have despoiled us of the whole estate if our grandfather had married Baina Jumhu. I had therefore not spoken to Marco about it at the time. As for his slutty woman, she seemed bored that Marco and I were talking in whispers. She must have thought that I was revealing her adultery with my husband. I refrained from dispelling this impression, and all three of us climbed back up to the restaurant.
I like how she says, surely I was trying to protect my brother. Yes, surely you were. You just say I was. We mean surely. Surely would be if you were trying to figure out somebody else's motive. Like, oh, I'm sure, or surely, Bob did that because he was thinking along these lines. If you're talking about yourself, you wouldn't say surely, because you know what you did. Obviously, that's whatever you think about yourself is why you did it. I mean, unless you got something psychological going on, but otherwise.
What can you tell me about your father and the conditions under which he died? And also, I'd love to know more about the relationship he had with your grandfather.
My grandfather took pleasure in outdoing his near and dear ones. He humiliated all of us, my father and my mother, Billy, Marco. What a monster. I hate Walter Jones and his perfect estate, which he dangled in front of us to show us we were at his mercy. You know what, Inspector? I am thoroughly convinced that my grandfather killed my father. Walter Jones killed his own son. He killed my father.
This sordid letter from Isabella to her son Marco gives him a solid motive to kill Walter Jones.
I can't believe it. It's totally monstrous. Walter Jones is no longer my grandfather. I can't believe he did something so... Mom was a discreet and secretive woman. She died from shame and loneliness. But why didn't I get any of this? But Marco is a weak sort, you know. I don't believe he could have had the guts to punish a man like Walter Jones, unfortunately.
In the absence of a will, this letter from Edward Jones to his wife Isabella makes Marco the principal heir of the Jones empire.
I didn't think of this detail, Inspector. So Marco's affection toward me could have been just strategy. He made me fall asleep in a way to swipe all the inheritance. If Marco played this double game with me, I will not forgive him, Mr. Norm.
Why did Walter Jones keep this compromising press cutting?
I am ready for anything now. While going over this shit, you got out all the skeletons from the family closet, Mr. Norm. I distrusted you at the time you set foot on this island, but today, I'm grateful to you. And I really hope that you can prove that Walter Jones had my father murdered.
I mean, I don't know if we can go that far yet. Maybe we'll get more evidence, but we have strong evidence that he might have. That's not proof.
What could have pushed Marco Jones to give up 10% of his future estate to Hubert de Noland?
It doesn't surprise me that Nolan tried to extort money from Marco, but I don't know why, Inspector Norm.
I get it.
I'm probably not going to get anything over here from Colio or Baina, but we'll talk to him anyway, just in case.
I need you to enlighten me on a point. This sordid letter from Isabella to her son Marco gives him a solid motive to kill Walter Jones.
Old Jones was the most evil man I ever knew in my life, Jack Norm. He hurt a lot of people around him. He was full of poison, and he is dead from his poison. Baina also suffered a lot because of him. And if Marco killed old Jones, then that is a good thing, and I say he was right.
I need your assistance to clarify certain points. This sordid letter from Isabella to her son Marco gives him a solid motive to kill Walter Jones.
She's like, I don't disagree with you. Okay. Yeah, like I said, we didn't get much with them. I mean, they did have responses, but it didn't add anything to what we already knew. So, talk to people on the side here. Talk to these people. I guess. I don't know that I need to, but I guess we can go talk to. Let's see. Can I take? Yeah, I can take this elevator. This one's working. It's the other one that's not working. I guess we could probably talk to Lorenzo and Martin. I don't know that we're going to get much from them, but maybe. And then once I'm done talking to them, then we'll go talk to Marco last. Still don't have a document, though, so I'm not sure, but...
I assume you want to question me. So go on, then.
This sordid letter from Isabella to her son Marco gives him a solid motive to kill Walter Jones.
I thought we had gone as low as we could, but these recent revelations... It's quite simply revolting, Inspector. What a shame that Sonia and Billy gave up on having this monster put away. That said, I doubt my brother-in-law Marco is capable of taking revenge by killing his own father.
Allow me to doubt that. I need you to enlighten me on a point. This sordid letter from Isabella to her son Marco gives him a solid motive to kill Walter Jones.
I'm not surprised. A man who could pounce on a woman as fragile and defenseless as the young Baina is capable of anything. Anything at all. I don't really like Marco Jones, but I can't believe he had the guts to kill his grandfather. I myself wouldn't have had the guts.
See you later.
Okay. I think that's it. So, the only question is, do I have enough in documents to it'll solve this? But let's... So I think what it might be, when I try to look into this, what might be the flaw is that Lorenzo's saying he's not capable. Maybe. We're missing a piece of evidence that we need for solving this. I don't know what evidence that is. Because we only have one declaration. This one here is saying that Denolent isn't capable of doing it. So that is the strongest evidence that Denolent's death was not this type. So I'm not sure. Let's, just because we have not talked to him yet, let's go ahead and talk to... Oops, I don't want this. I want the elevator. Let's go talk to Marco. I want... Doesn't matter. 19 or 18, either way. This way. No. Hang on. I do want down. I should have gone to 18, not 19. I want this way. And then hang a left once we get outside here. That goes to the gardens, which is where Marco currently is. All right. I'll save it here. I don't think there will be, but just in case there's some kind of QTE or something, then we can reload if we die.
A question is buzzing in my head.
A question? Try a bunch of questions, bro.
This letter that your mother wrote you gives you a very good motive for killing Walter Jones, your real father.
It might make a good motive, I grant you that. But that doesn't make me a murderer. And you know that perfectly well. Proof. Where is your proof, Inspector?
It's coming, Marco. It's coming. In the absence of a will, this letter from Edward Jones to your mother Isabella makes you the principal heir of the Jones empire.
Really, you talk rubbish, Inspector. You can't forget that our grandfather had the firm intention of disinheriting all three of us, Sonia, Billy, and me.
Why did Walter Jones keep this compromising press cutting?
In the least, one can say that my grandfather had a complex personality. I guess he kept this document to prove he was innocent in the death of his son Edward.
What drove you to give up 10% of your estate to Noland?
Despite everything, I knew how much the Jones Company owed to the talent of Hubert de Noland. I wanted to reward him for everything that he did for the family's wealth. It's as simple as that. The amount that I had planned to give him was not yet fixed. This document was only a plan. In any case, this is not yet signed. The services provided by Hubert de Noland also concern the inheritance of the estate. On this point, Noland could not get me sufficient guarantees concerning my inheritance.
I understand better.
Yeah, I still think. Let me look at the other people in case I missed something. But I think Lorenzo's statement here is the only one that kind of claims that Noland is not that type of a person. Let me make sure. Lorenzo knows how to shoot. This is going back to who might have shot the rifle. And this is the safe. So when Noland was still alive. This is the key card stuff, so that's not. She was sleeping with Martin. He's dead, so obviously that doesn't apply now. Lorenzo knows how to shoot, so it's going back again further. So this is the one that applies here, I think. And then seems split about Marco and Christina's relationship. So we've basically got no update from Clara this entire time. She's there like for like the very beginning, like questions, and then after that she kind of went to sleep for the rest of the game. And then he was with Christina, he admits he was with Christina on the night of the murder with having an affair. So what am I missing? Okay, alter diagram is not going to help about this. This, I thought would be helpful for that, but maybe not. These are movements of Simbi Laktar, where we know it was actually Marco. We already did that. That's the puzzle piece before this one, where we basically solved it and said it was Marco, not Simbi Laktar, who entered the technical room. File. Bonnie better to know all. I don't think that would be it, right? But we could do this, maybe. Try.
The clues do not match.
Yeah, we're still missing, because this line is still just 3/4 of the way. So we're still missing. So I do think it's this, still. I just don't know. I guess it's probably not this pic. I need a picture of something else, though. What else can we take a picture of? So I guess back out here. Or I guess it's in here. It's inside again. And we'll go. Library. Oh, the library is 17, isn't it? No. Hang on. Where's the library? 17 is the technical room. 18, 22, 21, 21. Yeah, 21 is the library. I had to remind myself which floor it was. This is where de Noland's body is. Let's see. There's nothing else in the desk or on the desk that I can interact with. So this is done. We had the other set of the other bookshelf over here. We'd already done something with, but I mean, we're done with that. There's no more to do. Nothing more to find or to grab or anything. Yeah, that just goes back. Okay, that's what I thought. Okay. So maybe back into here. I don't know. I would think, especially if they were trying to get rid of evidence of some kind, I would think there would be like a trash can or something. I would have thought the shredder, but I've already looked at the shredder again, and I can't interact with it anymore. I've already gotten everything I was going to be able to interact with from previous interactions.
I'm not getting it.
Yeah, no, okay. Yeah, whereas in some situations they might try you to feel empathetic for the person who was killed. This is not one of those. You like hate the guy who was killed and just like, he was killed. I mean, we'll send somebody to prison, but we really couldn't care less that the guy died. Total scumbag, dude. You hear about some of the stuff he did. I mean, that's not just where it ended either, right? He effectively tried to force himself on Baina also, which is why he and Baina had that accident like a year ago or 6 months ago or whatever it was. Total scumbag. Yes. This isn't going to help me. There's some document that I'm missing. I don't know where I will find it. I've already looked in Christina and Marco's suitcases. The suitcases that are where Sonia and Martin were, I cannot interact with, nor can I interact with the ones that are where Clara is and where Billy had been. So I don't know, and I cannot interact with a suitcase over by Polio and Baina. So I don't know where else. I've already been back to the suites, checked in case of garbage cans or safes that maybe could be opened, or drawers. I didn't find anything in any of those. What am I missing? The creak, I realize it's because there's a storm outside in this game, but the creaking noises remind me of the Black Sails, the Ghost Ship playthrough that I did a year ago, roughly. That exits. Yeah, I can't interact with anything else here, so I don't know. Well, crap. See, it should actually be something labeled pig. So but that's wrong. That combination does not work. And again, like I said, I need one more clue for this. Rob, I'm going to look it up. I'm going to look it up because I don't know what there's clearly something that I'm missing. somewhere they're expecting me to go. Well, actually, before I look it up, I don't think there's going to be anything, but let me try to go back to Walter Jones's suite and look either there, maybe there's a garbage can I missed there, or look in the church, the chapel or whatever below his suite, in case there's something I missed there. I don't expect to find anything, but just in case. Oh, hang on. There's nothing out here, right? Yeah, no. There's nothing. Okay. There's nothing left in here. We already got prints on that earlier. So this is nothing. This is the same, of course, so no. No, nothing that way. I think if we zoom in here, it's only the upper safe, right? We don't get this bottom part. Yeah. There's nothing here. If I do this, it just shuts that, so. There's still nothing over here. It's not like I'd expect paper to be in the water, but, you know, whatever. Yeah. So nothing there. Oops. Not what I meant. This is what I meant. Stand on this first.
Obviously, Jones organized his whole tower around himself and his wheelchair.
We looked at this before, so I'm just seeing if there's anything else around here that maybe I missed interacting with previously. So far, no dice. It's just the altar. We already got what was under here. I don't think there's anything else to get. Yeah. Okay, I don't know. Let me look it up. I don't know what I'm forgetting, but I'm apparently forgetting some place we've been. So Renzo. I don't know. Not getting anything. So we talked. I don't even remember who all we talked to now. Talked to Christina after opening the bags, and Clara, and Sonia and Billy, and Colio and Baina and Marco. I don't know if we've talked to Martin and Lorenzo. Are those the only two left? I think so. So I'll just go up 2 floors. Talk to them.
I assume you want to question me. So go on then.
Excuse me, I am distracted. I have what I need. See you later. Just one question. I won't be here for long. Excuse me, I am distracted. I have what I need. See you later.
There.
I'm listening, Inspector. I want
I
you
know,
to know
I'm
that you can count
distracted.
on my total availability. I have a lot of free time now.
Excuse me,
Yeah, I
I am
know.
distracted. I have
Distracted.
what I
I
need.
want to
See you
see
later.
if he's. I need something. I think I need something that I can use on the shredder in a technical workshop to to pull paper out of the paper jam. I think. I don't see anything in between them or anything that were on the ground. I've searched this thoroughly before, so I wouldn't expect something new to be here, but he's here now with a whatever he's got in his hand, screwdriver, I guess. Um, it's just trophies. And radio.
Alert from the Indian Ocean Weather Center. The trail of the Class 4 tropical cyclone which struck the archipelago of the Maldives last night will continue to have impact over the next 2 days. Winds of force 11 to 12 will continue to gust with utmost intensity in the zone situated to the northeast of the archipelago. The high tide will again reach 4 meters. We notify our residents who are still in this zone that a red alert of level 4 is still in effect for the next 48 hours. Absolute vigilance required. This is a dangerous phenomenon of exceptional intensity. Keep yourselves regularly updated on weather developments and strictly adhere to the instructions issued by public authorities. The international aid that was requested is on the way to the archipelago. The Providence cruiser should arrive in Salé with supplies, emergency medication, and survival tents within 36 hours.
Um,
Obviously, you're on my tracks, Inspector.
Excuse me, I am distracted. I have what I need. See you later.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where else I'm going to find. I've already searched the... I already searched the technical workshop for a tool. I'm thinking because he's got a screwdriver in his hand, there should be something around here, right? Maybe not. Let's see if there's any way I can get an icon other than a speech icon. Maybe not.
Has your investigation reached such a laborious point that you have to tyrannize people like this?
Excuse me, I am distracted. I have what I need. See you later.
I can't zoom in anymore to see if there's something different.
Has your investigation reached such a laborious point that you have to tyrannize people like this?
It's not what I was trying to do.
I am distracted. I have what I need. See you later.
Obviously, you're on my tracks, Inspector.
Excuse me, I am distracted.
I go when there's
I have what I
no
need.
speech
See you
icon,
later.
and then it switches to speech icon right as I click. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm supposedly looking for an Allen wrench that's on the floor by the wheel there. I'm not seeing it though. It says in front wheel. I mean, that's the only wheel I could think is that one, right? Maybe it's... let's see. So back to see Lorenzo. There's now something on the floor. What? Something is not... Let's see. Oh, that's probably what I'm missing. The first part of it. That's probably why. Okay. I need that first, then it'll trigger the other, I guess. Can't believe I missed that, though. But I guess I did. Let's go here. And out here. Apparently there's this. I didn't realize that. I mean, I've been here multiple times. I didn't realize this was a thing. Okay, so I need to grab this paper, I guess. Piece of a letter to Isabella Jones. Houston, July 13th, 2002. So this is, hang on. Two days later. 2 days after Isabella sent this to Marco, there's this sent back. Dear Isabella, I have a terrible confession to make to you. The airplane accident that cost the life of your husband, Edward James, on his return from Canada was neither a self-unaliving nor an accident. You know that Walter Jones accepted to absorb your husband's debts by obliging him to work for the Jones Company. Excuse me. He convinced Edward to investigate my affairs in Halifax. I know that would seem cowardly and unworthy of your trust. During our meeting at his hotel, I had to reveal to Edward the secret that you had confided in me in order to dissuade him from passing on the documents that he held against me. Bad luck was with me. The same evening, he called me back to fill me in on the conversation that he had with his father, to ask him his side of the story regarding the violence accusation against him. The GR accusation against him. Walter Jones denied the facts without convincing him. Edward was thrown into the pits of despair and rage. He called me back the following morning to heap scorn and accusation upon me. The file that he showed against me was stolen that night from his hotel room. I didn't know anything about it. I decided to go to his hotel in Halifax to speak to him about it. Edward had already left Halifax for Yarmouth, where he waited for his private plane. In the Halifax Hotel's hallway, I recognized one of Walter Jones's henchmen in the middle of a telephone conversation. He was explaining that your husband's airplane had been sabotaged and that the compromising file was now in secure hands. At that moment, for fear or cowardliness, I did not react. The following morning, I heard on the radio that the jet carrying the billionaire Walter Jones's son to Boston crashed into the Gulf of Maine. I did nothing to help him, and now I will forever lose your confidence and friendship. Now, if we pair this with the strip we have that was at Nolan's desk, let's read this one more time. I did nothing to help him, and now I will forever lose your confidence and friendship. It is useless to search elsewhere for a guilty party. I am the murderer and the only one responsible for the crime. What I did today was to preserve my honor and my dignity. Hubert de Nolan. So he's saying that he metaphorically, or as someone knowing what was going to happen but did nothing to prevent it, so almost like the equivalent of a manslaughter type thing, takes responsibility for the death of Edward. That's not the same thing, right, as before. So that's interesting. Maybe not yet. Okay. Now I wonder if this triggers the other thing, because we were missing that. If I go back up to Lorenzo and Martin now. Uh, 22, yeah.
Obviously, you're on my tracks, Inspector.
Excuse me, I am distracted. I have what I need. See you later.
Has your investigation reached such a laborious point that you have to tyrannize people like this?
Excuse me, I am distracted. I have what I need. See you later.
So none of that. Still don't see any kind of an Allen wrench or anything around here. So whether that has yet to trigger or not, but we do have other people we can talk to about what we just found. So let's see if we can get that. Get that done before we call it a night. At least that much. So I guess next week we'll probably finish this. Finally. And then however much time is left over, then we'll go ahead and start into one of the games from the Halostream.
I would like to ask you 2 or 3 questions. Excuse me, I am distracted. I have what I need. See you later.
Go on, I'm listening, Inspector.
Excuse me, I am distracted.
Okay, so none of them.
I have what I need. See you later.
I think what we just got has nothing at all to do with Colio or Baina, so let's not bother asking them. This might be a Marco exclusive thing, although we might be able to talk to Christina. I don't think Clara's going to have anything, but since she's here, let's ask her.
A question is buzzing in my head. Excuse me, I am distracted.
Yeah, okay.
I have what I need. See you later.
And I think it's very possible that Christina has nothing also. Oh, no, one more. That's right. We had one in between. I forgot. Yeah, she might not have anything to say
Don't
either.
wander about like this, Jack. Ask me the question you want.
Excuse me, I am distracted. I have what I need. See you later.
So... It's possible there's a bug. I don't know that there is. It's possible, though, there might be a bug in the game where if I did not look for the Allen wrench in the proper order at the proper time, that I missed the chance to get it. Wait, but no. I don't need an Allen wrench. I've already opened that. What would I be doing? An Allen wrench won't help me pull out the paper or something from there, so I'm confused what I would be doing. I don't think that's right. Marco may not have anything to say either.
The question is buzzing in my head. Excuse me, I am distracted. I have what I need. See you later.
Okay, so... How can I use these in conjunction, though? I'm confused how that's supposed to happen. Let me see. It's okay. Hang on. Maybe I do this reverse. I've got this. Does that other letter show up now or something? Ah, here we go. There we go. It doesn't say comparing the handwriting. We can show these are the same, right? There we go.
Correct match.
There we go. Yeah, that's the one we want, I think. That probably does it now. There we go.
Is the death of Hubert de Nolan a real suicide?
No, it is not.
The death of Hubert de Nolan is a murder masquerading as a suicide.
The death of Hubert de Noland is a murder masquerading as a suicide.
Ah, well, Jack, you have a second murder on your hands. You haven't done yet with this nest of vipers. The two crimes are connected, that's for sure. But don't forget, our priority is to arrest the billionaire's murderer.
I have to find the criminal quickly, and I have to find the proof to arrest him.
Save this. Okay. Back. Okay. So the final, are there one or more irrefutable pieces of evidence of Marco's guilt? That, I think. Let's see. Cleaning weapons. No, none of those. This, I think. The chain really is more for the key to the safe. So I don't think the chain will help. And this is Lorenzo's stuff. We're trying to prove Marco did stuff. This is Lorenzo's medal. And that's Jones' gift to Baena. Could be evidence of it. I think we're missing, though. Missing a couple of things. But it might be the declaration. Although that would still be, we're missing, see, 6 things, right? 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so we're missing 2. 2 items here. Let's see. Don't know that I have anything for comparing to do the same kind of a thing. Yeah, I don't think so. Oh, I don't want this anyway. Because although this was used for de Noland, that's not going to be for the Walter Jones one. Yeah, so we want this, I think. Probably not that even either. See, I want the splinters, I think. Airline ticket, Atlanta, Moscow, Moscow, Saleh. Gloves. That might actually be, and then the gloves here. Shredded gloves here. Let's see. Okay, let me see if I can have a conversation with him. Before we...
Oh, no. You're not troubling me, Inspector.
The murderer would have had us all believing in Noland's suicide if he'd not overlooked this fragment of the letter which changes everything.
I have the impression that you are losing the thread of your investigation, Inspector. I want you to find my grandfather's murderer. This document is a new confession from Noland about his financial swindling to the tune of hundreds of millions of dollars. And it is also the proof that my grandfather was the person behind Edward Jones' murder.
See you later.
Nah. Like I said, I'm still missing 2 pieces of evidence. So I guess we'll have to try to figure that out next time. Alright, well, I'll just save it again since I had already... That way I don't have to have the conversation again next time with him. But... Okay. So yeah, so next week we'll finish that probably within the first hour, I would guess. Obviously don't know for sure, no guarantees. I don't know how long it'll take me to get the final resolution, but something like that. So that'll do it. Thanks for stopping by, Monmouth, and watching. Appreciate the support. I will be streaming in about 11.5 hours again. We're doing more Clem from the Halloween stream this year. And then we'll continue Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2 tomorrow night. Thanks for watching. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you next time. Till then, peace.
Poor Spider.
His freaking boy. Oh, that's so sad.